For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Even in the darkest nights, God's light shines brightly, guiding us towards a future filled with His goodness. This verse isn't just a nice thought, it's a lifeline. It's a promise from God, holding true for every one of His children. When life feels overwhelming, we can cling to this promise. Our future is held securely in the hands of a loving God. To grasp this promise, we journey back to ancient Babylon. Imagine the Israelites, God's chosen people, ripped from their homeland, living as captives. Their lives, once filled with home, were now shrouded in fear. They felt abandoned, their cries echoing unanswered. Their world had crumbled. The temple lay in ruins. Their hearts ached for home, for God's presence. In this despair, God spoke through Jeremiah. His words offered a lifeline of hope. Jeremiah 29:11 isn't just a message of comfort for the Israelites. It's a timeless promise for all who believe. It's a reminder that no matter how dire our circumstances, God is still in control. He still has a plan, and His plan is for good. This verse whispers hope into our weary souls. It reminds us that even when we can't see a way forward, God already has one. He's working behind the scenes, orchestrating events according to His perfect will, guiding us towards a future brighter than we could ever imagine. We may not understand His ways, and the path ahead may be shrouded in uncertainty, but we can rest assured that He's with us every step of the way, guiding our steps, holding us securely in His loving embrace. When we hear the word prosper, our minds often jump to material wealth and worldly success. But God's definition of prosperity runs far deeper than that. True prosperity, the kind God promises, encompasses every aspect of our being: spiritual, emotional, and relational. God's desire is to see us thrive, not just survive. He wants us to experience wholeness, peace, and joy, even amidst life's storms. He wants us to grow in our faith, to become more like Him, and to reflect His love to a hurting world. This kind of prosperity isn't dependent on our circumstances or possessions. It's a deep-rooted contentment, a sense of peace that surpasses all understanding, knowing that we are loved and cherished by the God of the universe. The promise of a future speaks volumes. It reminds us that our story doesn't end in our current struggles. God has something more in store for us, something beyond our present pain, something that will make our hearts sing with joy. This promise invites us to shift our gaze from the problems in front of us to the God who holds the future in His hands. It encourages us to live with expectancy, knowing that He's able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine. It's a call to embrace hope, to believe in the impossible, and to trust that God will make all things beautiful in His time. It's a reminder that even when we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, God is there, guiding us towards it. So, how do we apply this powerful promise to our lives today? How do we hold on to hope when faced with challenges that threaten to overwhelm us? First, we need to make Jeremiah 29:11 personal. Replace you with your name. Let this truth sink deep into your heart. For I know the plans I have for your name, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Next, meditate on this verse daily. Write it down, carry it with you, let it be a constant reminder of God's unwavering love and faithfulness. When fear knocks on the door of your heart, answer with the promises of God. Finally, share this promise with others. Be a beacon of hope in a world desperately searching for answers. Let your life reflect the hope and peace that only God can give. Friends, we serve a God who holds tomorrow. He sees your tears, hears your cries, and knows the desires of your heart. He hasn't forgotten you. He's working all things together for your good, even when you can't see it. So hold on to hope. Cling to His promises. Trust in His unfailing love. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He will walk with you through every valley and lead you to a future filled with His goodness.